Hello Capricorn, and welcome to your August 2025 reading. I'm Corinne from Sacred Star Tarot. Welcome if you're new to my channel. Welcome back if you're returning. I'm so glad you're here to take a look at your August. And of course, moving into August, we're in Leo season, and Leo and that fire energy is going to be working with us to look at our areas of confidence. Self-confidence, self-expression, our assertiveness, maybe ways we're not being assertive or self-confident, so that we can step into the embodiment of that Leo that's within us all. Feeling passionate, putting yourself out there, having self-confidence and self-expression. So that will be a big theme for all of us for the month. And then on the 9th of the month, we have the full moon in Aquarius. And like every full moon, it's there to open us up, to show us, to reveal to us an area, a program, an understanding that we haven't been able to see about our life. And because it's this month in Aquarius, the themes around that are to do with your individuality, your community, doing things from an altruistic point of view. So how you are contributing to the world in the ways that you want. So this could be shedding the beliefs, the outdated ways that you have wanted to conform for approval, for belonging, for recognition that aren't aligned to you. So it can be quite a big release for some of us. And then by the end of the month, all of that Leo energy, that fire that we're all feeling of that self-confidence, moves into Virgo. And with the Virgo energy, it then wants to take all of that fire and put it into the practical detail, routine, what you're doing on a day-to-day. So that will be very helpful because it will be driving us to make plans, to have processes, to refine what we're doing. And this could be a refinement of your work, but it could also be a refinement of your health, which is a big Virgo theme. So you might want to start new daily routines of going for walks and looking after your body, mind, and spirit, or cleansing. So that will be what's going on in the planets in the sky. But let's look more intimately on what you can expect for the month. And of course, I've meditated on your energy, and it's a very interesting, transformative month. So coming into the month, Capricorn, you have the Knight of Wands and the Page of Wands. So this is everything to do with your ambition, your drive. You know, the wands, when they come up, that's the part of you that has a desire, you know, that uses your will to create what you want. You know, it's that innate burning, that passion, that desire. And you'll be really looking with the page at why I've got the desires and I'm doing what I'm doing. What is the motivation behind them? You know, why am I driven in these ways, or working, putting my fire, my will, my energy into these parts of my life? And there'll be a reason why you're starting to look at this, instead of just being in the Knight of Wands, you know, where he's just pushing forward, achieving, going for it, taking action all of the time. You're actually looking at, you know, with the pages, that curiosity. And it's like, I'm going to stop and I'm going to have a look at this, why I'm doing what I'm doing. And that's interesting because by the mid-month, there's this push. You've got the Death with the High Priestess in reverse. And there's like this energy behind you, or behind this contemplation. It's like I'm I'm not sure why I keep moving in the direction I'm doing. You're getting like conscious of it. Why? And that's because the death and the high priestess is there to help you release, something within you that keeps you in a pattern to do with your ambition. That constant need to drive and strive and work all the time. And with the high priestess in reverse, there's something to do with your connection to your higher self, your spirit, something that you're not seeing. That I think you'll see it by the mid-month because you have the death card. And we're going to dive deeper into this to help give you a lot of clarity and advice on the month. Because the death is great in your reading. This is the big transformation. On the self-development and spiritual level, this is where we let go and shed the ego, the parts of us that are born from not feeling good enough, or our ambition is driven by our success of like needing to be approved of, our self-worth, our fear, and that there's something that needs to be released so that your fire, that will and that passion is directed in the right ways. That it doesn't just be, that constant, the Knight of Wands is that constant need. It's like that desire is never fulfilled. So that you can achieve and you can do things and you can achieve, but it's never, it leaves you empty. And it's because it's not a true desire. It's not coming from your spirit. So this is looking like you're starting to really understand that. What is my true desire? Because by the end of the month, you have the King of Wands, Four of Swords reversed. So this is like being strong now in I know what I want, but maybe I'm having a hard time stopping. The fire, when it's out of control, it just wants to go and burn and burn and burn and burn. So we can have difficulty then reining it back. And I think that's what might be the tricky part at the end of the month. But this is all to help you release and find balance in your fire, that will, that part of you that has the drive, the ambition, and maybe it's just, goes into a compulsive or unhealthy state. So let's find out a little bit more and get some advice for you for the month to help with this transformation. So I'll call upon the light and I'll call upon the Holy Spirit to help me with this reading for the beautiful Capricorns for the month of August, to give them everything they need to know for their highest and their best path forward and for this transformation. Okay. Can we please clarify? Oh, there we go. So you have the Tower, Eight of Wands. Can we please clarify? Whoa, wow. Yeah, Magician. Okay. So bottom of the deck, Temperance. So the Temperance card, and you have the two of Pentacles. So this month is very much helping you to find this equanimity inside, this balance. And sometimes we need the balance of all of the elements. We need our drive balanced with our deep emotions and our heart balanced with our mind. And sometimes what happens is that our fire takes over. It neglects, the part of you that needs to rest, that wants to have fun, that wants to just relax and do nothing for a while. And sometimes that fire, like burns out of control, and then we have trouble, reining it in. And this month is to really help, it's like you'll be seeing this pattern. You'll be understanding it. And then, with the death, it's like, well, what's within me that doesn't allow myself to have balance, to unburden myself from, when it's upright, it's like, I'm carrying too many responsibilities. The weight of it is, breaking my back. It's like too much. And, the understanding of that is some of these are self-imposed. These wands are like, some of them are our own anxieties and our own, we take on our own responsibilities, or too much pressure or too much expectation. And I think that's what you'll be really seeing, how you can bring your fire into balance, especially with your water, with your emotional side, Capricorn. Sometimes our emotional side gets neglected with the ambition. You have the Tower, Eight of Wands, and the Magician. And the Tower, the beauty of this is with the death. So the Tower can be just an inner transformation. It doesn't have to be like losing a job or, any of these big things, but the Tower can be a mindset, and I think that's what from the cards are saying, like there's this mindset that needs to change around your ambition so that you can set yourself free. The Tower is the beauty of the divine. The symbols are Yod, the hand of the divine that helps us break free. They're imprisoned by the Tower. And there'll be, this is like your own ways that you feel imprisoned and unable to break cycles to do with your ambition. And then the Tower moment comes in to release you from it after the death, setting yourself free so that you can move forward and you can be more conscious of what you create and what you want in this life. When our fire's burning so strongly, we're just doing everything and we're taking it all on and we're kept burdening too many responsibilities. And this is like to really shift this, to find your equanimity, to find your peace and to find balance. So let's ask for some advice. Spirit, can we please have some advice for Capricorn for the month of August? What do they need to know or do? Yeah. My goodness, Queen of Wands, so much fire. Yeah, it's all about your will and your ambition. And that's the beauty of Capricorn, the understanding of the ways that we can all create, in a practical way, using our ambition, being hardworking, discipline. But maybe this has just become out of balance with your water, with your emotions, with your self-care, with your love, with your joy, with receiving. Being more in the receptive mode. And we have the full Seven of Cups in reverse and the Queen of Wands. And this is like, releasing the having a fresh new start, releasing the fears and the worries that may be driving your ambition. I think you'll be delving a little, quite deep, maybe, to find out this pattern, to understand it, and it will be revealed to you. And this death, this release, this transformation might come around that full moon in Aquarius, which is on the 9th. So that might be the time where you're really understanding it and then surrendering. Okay, is there any more advice for Capricorn? 8 of Cups, Wheel of Fortune. I think you're getting the understanding, Capricorn, that, the cards are saying like, things don't, it doesn't have to be that hard. If some of the things that are not working for you, you can leave them behind. You get to move the wheel in the direction that you want it to go. It's a big release this month for you. Taking all of that burden and that pressure and maybe some of that drive that's not authentic to you. Wow. Okay. Let's see if there's an animal spirit to help guide you through the month. Is there an animal spirit for Capricorn? You have tiger and fire and cougar. Gee, this is interesting. Cougar and assertiveness. I choose to be unstoppable. My passion is my power. I'm bold, I'm brave. Mighty forces come to my aid. Walk through life with confidence and grace. You have the power beyond the world. Focus on what you really want and create your dreams. And I think that's, there might be some healing around your self-worth happening, and also getting a lot of clarity, clarity on what you really want. What do you, what does he want to invest his drive into? Okay, so I'm going to call this reading a big release, releasing the burden. So that is your reading for the month of August, Capricorn. I hope that helps and guides you through this change and transformation. I would imagine you'd be feeling so much lighter by the end of the month in Virgo, having lifted all of that, that burden. So I'm sending you all of my love, light and blessings. I just want to thank you for all of your likes, subscribes, comments. They help my channel more than you'd know. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.